Gorogoa is a puzzle game that came out in 2017 that was and is very unique in its presentation. That presentation that plays into the actual puzzles, aka the gameplay. To me, Gorogoa resembles a comic book mixed with a jigsaw puzzle in the way that you have to set pieces in the correct order for it to tell a story. But that's a bit of an oversimplification of how this game works. And so we will start with the gameplay on a more technical way, so we are all on the same footing here. Gorogoa has 4 equally sized square panels. These don't always have to have pictures on them, but they usually do, and you can interact with these pictures and move them within the 4 panels to solve the puzzles. For example, a panel can be zoomed in a way that it somehow matches with another panel, making those two able to interact with each other. Another way a panel can match is one panel is able to overlap another, allowing something to travel through the panels. And there is also more traditional point and click puzzles going on within these panels that work to solve a bigger overall puzzle. And while it may sound complicated, the game is very clever with its puzzles, and it flows in a way that it doesn't need loading screens or blatant changes. Puzzles just lead on to the next ones, making the whole game work as one big puzzle. And it's pretty impressive, especially as the puzzle escalates in complexity towards the end, even though I wouldn't say this is a very difficult puzzle game. Now, the story is told through these puzzles. It isn't like there is a cohesive story. It's clear the focus was more on not only the puzzle structure, but also the emotion that comes from it. But if I can give a rough outline of my interpretation of this story without spoiling anything, is I would say that this is about a life of this boy where some sort of big disaster took place during his childhood, and as a child he tried to fix it, as this disaster is represented by a dragon-like monster that is the Gorogoa. The story, or more accurately the emotions this game provides, are helped a lot by the aesthetics of the game. Even the puzzles are helped by this. It is a very beautiful game to look at with its drawn art. The colors can be very grey and muted, and that seems to be so when the colors do show up as vibrant and colorful, it does have some effect on you and even work as hints in the gameplay. This also happens with the sound of this game that has a tendency to be very subtle and ominous to some extent, only to then rise in significant moments. It is a very pleasant game to both look and listen to, even if it's not a soundtrack that I'll be listening to after the game is over. Setting wise, I'm not really sure. I get Middle Eastern vibes, but also some European ones. So maybe it's not meant to be or resemble a real place, so to say, but I'm honestly not an expert on the topic, so maybe this is a place I'm not aware of, so just be aware of that. Graphics wise, my only complaint is that you can tell that there are 3D models that are being drawn over, and it does break a bit of the illusion of that drawn art style. The game is not very long though, which does help being able to finish it in one sitting, as it adds to the impressiveness of the flow of the game. Being around 1 hour, depending on how stuck you get in the puzzles, it could take longer or of course less, and of course even less time. I would say maybe half an hour if you know what you're doing, like given a replay. Overall, Gorogoa is a game that seems to really succeed at what it's trying to do, and it's, in my personal opinion, a very good piece of art that deserves to be experienced, and for that I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. It is a very unique and beautiful game that I recommend, of course, if this is something you think you'll enjoy. Given what I said, I know that not all gamers enjoy this more artful games, and mostly my fault here. I have not reviewed many games like this on my channel yet, so it's not like I've been fostering some love for indie games on this channel yet. We'll see. And hopefully I will. But still on the recommendation side, price wise, this game goes for $15. But of course, it often goes sub $10 during sales, so it's up to you to decide if the price is worth it or you should wait for a sale. At the end of the day, it is a half an hour game, even if you're definitely gonna take longer on your first go. Regardless though, I hope this review was informative to you in making that decision, and regardless of your decision, I hope you will subscribe and even like and leave a comment, as you can do all of those things for free. And regardless of that decision, I wish you a goodbye.